Hi Randeep, welcome to my show. Finally.
Finally, Madhurita, I'm very honored to be on your show. You've invited me many times and it's not been possible.
Yes, my pleasure.
But now that we are here, we're going to make the most of it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, the first question, Randeep, I really want to know is that I know you shared a great rapport with Naseer Bhai. But really, when you're sharing screen space with him, how does it feel? Is he very intimidating?
No, I mean, Naseer Bhai and me have had a wonderful relationship of a friend, of a confidant, of a director, of a co-actor. And I love him deeply. And the journey is going on for last 12 years.
Wow.
That I've been in apprenticeship in his theatre company.
No, you've said that there's a good and evil in all of us. I mean, we all know that.
Yes.
So tell us about the evil in Randeep Hooda.
Oh, I am overindulgent, I think, in
Really?
everything. Yeah. I work too much, I eat too much, I drink too much, I do everything too much. I think I do not have...
So you're one of those excessive guys, everything is like an extremist, I would say.
Yeah, I'm quite extremist. I do not have balance in me, I think. Though I strive for it, but then I guess one has to understand कि यार अब मैं ऐसा ही हूँ तो ऐसा ही हूँ.
You've also spoken about how all of us have this beast within us.
Yes.
So has life at any point brought out that real beast from inside of you?
Yeah,
any incident, any part of your life?
I've got scars in my hands for getting into stupid fights and stuff and everything. And I've been in drunk driving accidents and all that. So all done out of rage, which is really stupid.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, not called for, but there is a beast in all of us. हमारे अगर आपके हाथ पे चींटी भी चढ़ जाती है तो आपके पास दो चॉइसेस होती हैं या तो उसको मार के साइड में कर दो जो कि मोस्ट लोग करते हैं और या फिर अगर आपके अंदर एक दूसरा भी एक वो होता है कि उसको जीव जंतु है उसको प्यार से उठा के आप साइड में एक ऐसी जगह रखते जहाँ उसको हार्म ना हो तो वो बीस्ट हमारे सबके अंदर होता है degrees का अंतर होता है.
I want to ask you this, as an actor, can you tap your dark side through roles, through characters that you play on screen? Dark or good side, really, I would say.
That is the only way I know how to work. इस पिक्चर में भी मेरा इन्वॉल्वमेंट काफी ज्यादा हो गया था. और इस पिक्चर में जो बीस्ट का जो वो है, जो क्रूरटी मेरा जो कैरेक्टर है, वो उसको दूसरों को तकलीफ और दर्द देने में मजा आता है. तो मुझे बच्चों की याद आई. मेरे ख्याल से बच्चे दुनिया के सबसे क्रूर लोग होते हैं बहुत क्रूर होते हैं किसी के सामने कुछ भी बोल देते हैं आप बोलो ना बच्चे को कि हाँ बेटा ये खाना आपने बोला था मोटी आंटी अच्छा खाना नहीं बनाती कुछ भी बोले कभी भी तो बच्चों को ज़्यादा ट्रस्ट नहीं करना चाहिए आई और डर्टी और व्हाटएवर कुछ भी बोल देते हैं तो मैंने उसको वो किया कि इसको कॉन्सेप्ट नहीं है इन चीज़ों का इसको बस उसको तड़पते हुए देखने में ही ज़्यादा मजा आता है.
I was reading up about the movie Randeep and somewhere said that the film is about forgiveness, revenge, sex, violence and mystery, right?
Okay. It's got all the masala you require.
Right, exactly. So what I really want to ask you is that you as a person, Randeep Hooda, how forgiving are you when someone does something wrong to you? How forgiving are you as a person? As a
I forgive and forget very easily. I think...
so you don't hold anything in your heart against anybody?
No. I can't. I possibly, if I do feel something, I usually say it and get it over and done with, get it off my chest.
How sexy is Randeep Hooda?
You tell me.
I know you would ask me that, but you tell. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate yourself from the sex quotient?
I don't rate myself.
Come on, women I'm sure find you very sexy. Randeep.
Well, you should ask the women. That's not a question that I can answer for sure. I hope they do. It's a big enhancement in my movie prowess. But I don't think I sit at home and think, oh, I'm sexy. I'm sorry.
Okay, I do have a violent streak by nature.
Yes, I do.
You do?
You do, I do.
What really makes you angry?
It's a mood thing.
Yeah.
If you're in a bad mood, everything makes me angry. Every little thing can make me angry. And if I'm not, then I am so oblivious to what's going on around me that it doesn't matter.
Randeep, you've been someone as an actor who's always kind of broken away from norm. Like I saw your work in Bombay Talkies and it was like shockingly good. And I even spoke to you about that. And, so when Karan Johar told you about the story, what was your first reaction when you heard about a male on-screen kiss?
The kiss aspect of it did not strike me.
Really?
Yeah. I heard the story. I was so involved in the story that he skipped over it and he said it twice. And there's a kiss and it's very important for me that this happens. It's unavoidable. And I said, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me because if I'm an actor of any worth, and I have taken upon this responsibility to better myself all the time, and it is an art that I pursue, in that I should be able to play anything that any human being is capable of.
Wow.
There is no other way. If that's not the case, then somewhere already I'm drawing lines and boundaries around myself as an actor, which are uncalled for. I have no business being an actor.
Wow. And you're doing it again, right?
Well, it's slightly different.
Yeah.
I did this first, actually.
Okay.
But it's slightly different. And this time, my co-star is not half as attractive as the other one. It's a chap called Sikandar.
And it's probably not half as much the passion, right? Because I believe you do something very violent, right? It's not so much of a kiss, is it?
My character is an orphan. And he's grown up in an orphanage. And he's been wronged by the priests. As a child, and that's what the grudge he holds against the world. He hates the world, and that he feels the world hates him, and he just wants to inflict pain. So when that guy says certain things to him about him being a homeless dog, you know, so I all of a sudden get up and kiss him and suck his tongue out, bite it, and spit it out.
You know, somewhere it said, Randeep, that a few years ago you were at a point in your filmy career where you thought it probably wasn't a viable option. Tell us about that phase.
It was a phase when my movies were not releasing on time. I had already done Rang Rasya and all these big movies, and they were not releasing, and there was a slump generally. There was a recession in the market. And there were some films being made, but I was not in them. And the roles dried up, and I did not understand why it was happening. So instead of getting jilted, I started pursuing my equestrian pursuits. I started riding and competing all across the country. Truck mein, aadmi, ghode, tent dal ke, I used to go everywhere. So I kept myself busy, and I think that really saw me through that phase. I did not get jilted. And
I believe you also stopped meeting people from the industry.
I stopped meeting. I cut myself off completely. Because in my experience, whenever I've gone and met somebody for something, it's never worked out. So I stopped meeting people. I just cut myself off. And I thought, what else would you do? What else would you do? Training horses does not get you so much money. So I was in the midst of all those things, and I was training for the Asian Games. And I was confronted by this big, huge jump, and I was certainly going to break my teeth. I stopped my horse and I said, hey, what did you come to Bombay for? To be an actor. And it so happened during that phase that, you know, I could not afford the horses. I was selling things. I was doing everything. But one thing
all a mess,
one thing I'm glad about is that I did not go around with a begging bowl.
So you're not the kind of actor, Randeep, that when you know a filmmaker who you like is doing something, you will not go and say, you know, probably I could do this?
Very occasionally do I do it, and it has never worked for me, really. So, you know, my only thing is that because of all this, I was able to see through that phase with a certain amount of dignity. I did not cheapen myself by attracting cheap publicity. I did not go and knock on people's door unnecessarily. I kept it in myself and took it.
You also, I guess, made some choices, you know, like we all make choices. Do you regret some of them? Like, I believe you would refuse Rang De Basanti. And, you know, do you look back and say, oh, I wish I'd done that differently?
I mean, I wish I would have gotten recognition, and I would have come into this turning wheel of the industry. That once you get absorbed in that,
in that cycle,
in that fabric, you are much more easy. Life becomes much more easier. But I do somewhere feel that had I got that success so early, maybe I would not have been able to handle it with humility and the kind of, I hope, the kind of maturity I'm being able to deal with it now.
You know, you're a good-looking guy, you have certain sexuality, and you use that really well on screen. But actors often do get typecast, you know, like, you know, don't you often get offers where people want to tap that side again? Okay, let's use Randeep Hooda this way because he's done this really well.
Typecasting happens when you choose the same role again. I don't think you can typecast me. Now, people, when I do interviews, they say, sex tag has now become intense actor and all that. No, it's I don't like that term.
But do you see yourself as a very intense actor?
I think intense is an uneducated word for that. I think the word to use is involved. I'm very involved in my work, and I like it. Some movies do not require involvement so much. You'll be hampering the process of filmmaking in that movie. It requires a personal flamboyance, a charm, that's the only thing that's required.
So you don't you don't differentiate between a movie that's commercial or arty or, you know, anything like that.
It is only the pitch at which the director wants to work and what the movie is. I change myself.
Like we're doing a John Day, you also have a kick, which is absolutely like an honor.
I absolutely change myself. Sajid bhai told me, look, तेरे बाप को किसी ने नहीं मारा है, तेरी बहन का या माँ का रेप नहीं हुआ है, you're a happy guy from a good family यार. Just relax, chill, don't do anything.
That's a change.
So उसके अंदर जाके मैं अपनी वो नहीं करता हूँ. हाँ ठीक है, ये समझ गया मेरे को, एक बार समझ में आ गया ये pitch है. I stay to that pitch and I'm there. So my flexibility is my thing. I adapt to other people, not adapt other people to myself.
Randeep, with all your charm and good looks, you've had a lot of link-ups. How do you react to those? And how do you handle those? And how do you get into those?
I don't react to those.
Yeah.
I don't react at all. I have grown a thick skin. I know what's happening in my life.
Yeah.
I don't need papers to tell me what's happening in my life.
Yeah.
And I don't need to clarify what's happening in my life to anybody because there's nobody feeding me or looking after me or that. I am on my own.
You don't owe it. That's what you mean.
Yes, nothing. If you've got a judgment on my life, okay, I'll give you a set of bills, pay them, and then I'll come and sit and listen to your judgment on my life. Please.
I'll quickly ask you a few questions, Randeep. What is the sexiest thing about Randeep Hooda? People say it's your voice.
I don't know. I get different compliments. Some people say my eyes speak a lot, which I don't believe. My lips and my smile, maybe.
You're almost blushing. I don't believe this. What is Randeep Hooda's dream woman like?
One? I think I've answered your question.
Yeah, exactly. Would you like to add to that?
No, I like women. I don't like... I'll tell you what I don't like.
Okay. Yeah, if I want to ask that question, what turns you off in a woman?
I don't like thin women.
Wow, okay.
I don't like thin women.
So you're not into the size zero kind of perfect abs kind of...
No. It's an ugly feature on a woman. I think a woman should be voluptuous and a woman should have curves and, there's a softness to a woman which is what makes her a woman.
Right.
I don't want to be with a Bruce Lee. In spite of my Bombay Talkies role, I don't want to be with Bruce Lee.
Okay, what turns you off in a woman, Randeep?
Being drunk.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like drunk women. I know a lot of boys who like drunk women. I don't.
But why would anyone like drunk women? I mean, that's
I don't know.
really strange.
Maybe they find that they can get their way easier with them, but I don't like drunk women. It's a very putting off aspect of a woman.
What is the first thing you notice in a woman? When you see a woman walking to the door, what's the first thing that you observe? There's a very evil grin on your face. I'm trying to read it. I'm really trying to size you up here.
Her ass.
Okay, when she walks in like...
Oh, legs.
Okay.
Because legs, if she's got good legs, she's probably have a good ass. But it's not so shallow. I like women's eyes also.
Okay, I like the honesty. It was super talking to you, Randeep. We had a lot of fun on this chat, and thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.